Welcome into Sports Wrap Live. I'm Lee Dudek.
I'm Derek Palaki, in for Mike Warren.
And we're going to have Caitlin DeLuca making her very first appearance on Sports Wrap Live in just a little bit. But first, we're going to get into some football. We got plenty of action for you. What we got, Derek?
Lee, excuse me, Mr. Mike. We have a jam-packed show here on Sports Wrap Live. It's going to be a great show. We've got one of the assistant coaches of the Peru Indians football, high school football. He's here today. It's just it's a great day.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to be here.
Mariah Beekmantown, we're glad to have you here in that nice pink shirt.
Yep,
sporting this breast cancer awareness.
Breast cancer awareness. People
Absolutely.
are calling it salmon. I got the pink tie here. It works. That's what matters.
It works. It's October, and we're ready to get you some football. Keep it right here at Sports Wrap Live.
This is Sports Wrap Live.
Welcome into Sports Wrap Live. As I said, I'm Lee Dudek.
And I'm Derek Palaki, in for Mike Warren tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Mike's got the night off. In a minute, we're going to introduce you to Caitlin DeLuca. But first, we're going to start off with some football, right, Derek?
Oh, we've got some great matchups, some great games that happened last week. Beekmantown, Mariah, Saranac took on Peru. Peru at their homecoming. It was a great couple days of football, folks.
Absolutely. We got more than just football, though. Caitlin's going to bring you those in just a minute. Right now, we're going to get it started. Mariah and Beekmantown, homecoming for Beekmantown as the Vikings are going to visit the Eagles. You see it right there. Everybody's excited. It's homecoming. It's a good time. Mariah's looking for the upset win right here. And on the opening possession, though, Beekmantown, little pitch out to Dan Frissett right there. He's going to break a tackle, and that is going to be one of his 2 rushing touchdowns on the day. Beekmantown up early, 7-0. Here's a punt now to Mariah. Jessup Culkins is going to pick that up, and he's going to break a few tackles. There's 1, there's 2, and he's going to bring that one down into Beekmantown territory. Good start for the Vikings. We're going to spot shadow right here. This is middle linebacker Tanner Roser for Beekmantown. Perfect time blitz. He's going to get an untouched on the quarterback. Sack right there, big time. This is the third quarter now for Mariah. Itchy Whalen, the up back, gets it right up the gut, 29-yard touchdown. It's 14-6 now. Beekmantown's leading. Mariah would miss that extra point. Ensuing kickoff, Mariah kicking it over to Beekmantown. This is going to be Quentin Barber picking it up at the Beekmantown 19-yard line. A couple of nice moves, and he's off to the races, folks. Look at the big man go. He's going to go all the way, 81 yards, a kick return for a touchdown, and Beekmantown is rolling early at their homecoming. Beekmantown again here. We're going to freeze that. That's Barber again split out as the tight end. He's going to go right in between the 2 safeties. A beautiful little touch pass here from quarterback Zach Myers. Breaks a tackle, and he's going to drag another defender down inside the 30. Beekmantown is rolling early on in this one. Myers now going to hand it off to Dan Frissett, and he's going to make a couple nice moves to the outside. This won't be a touchdown, though. He gets dragged down from behind at the 5-yard line. Myers says, forget handing it off. I'm going to do it myself. Beautiful pass into the corner of the end zone. That's Hayden Fountain. Check it out one more time. Beautiful, going up, grabbing the ball at its highest point. That's how they teach you to do it, kids. Learn from that one. Hayden Fountain with the touchdown. Beekmantown is up big. Mariah now run the ball very well in this one. This is Cameron Wright, 37-yard touchdown, breaking tackles. And Mariah says, not so fast, Beekmantown. We're here to play, 29-12. Mariah's going to go for the 2-point conversion, little play action. And this is Ryan Spur in the back of the end zone. Gets lost by the defenders, and that's just too easy. 2-point conversion good, 29-14 now. Mariah trying to get something going late. This is going to be Dan Johnson with the sack. Big time play for the Beekmantown defense, but they're going to give the ball right back. The fumble recovered by Tom Rancourt, and Mariah's in business. This is Cole Gatter right here, throwing it downfield for the big tight end, Rainier Garnica, with the beautiful catch and going to bring it down deep into Beekmantown territory. But it's going to be too little too late as Gatter tries to make something happen here, but you see the score already. Beekmantown wins it 29-20 as he throws the last-minute interception. Beekmantown improves to 4-1 on the season. And you saw it right there, Derek. Beekmantown coming off that loss last week to Peru. We're going to talk about that in a little while, but a big comeback win for them.
Michigan's in football, Lee. That's what Beekmantown does. I couldn't say anything better about what I saw from the Beekmantown, Eagles yesterday. It was just amazing. Devin Forsett, like you said, 11 rushes, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. Passing, Zachary Myers, after that rain game against Peru last week in which they lost, we said, is he going to bounce back? Is it going to work for Beekmantown? 6 for 9, 66 yards and a touchdown. They both came to play today for Beekmantown, and they did not give up.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that beautiful touch pass into the corner of the end zone to Fountain there to give Beekmantown the big lead at the time. Really important. They got off to a 14-0 lead at the half, so they jumped out over Mariah early. They were really excited to be playing on their home turf. Homecoming, they did not disappoint.
They didn't disappoint, but you got to credit Mariah as well. We had always talked about their defense. They overdid on the offense, I think, a little bit. Not to hate on them. They did great. 20 points. The 2 games they had won this year, they had scored 30 and 15. You average that together, that's about 22. They were at 20. They were down 14-0 at the half. They made it a game. They made it a game late, brought it to within 9 in the fourth quarter. I couldn't say anything more about Mariah either. Just Beekmantown happened to squeak it out by 9.
Right, and Beekmantown, they're a good team. It's no disappointment to lose to a team that's that good. Have only 1 loss on the season to Peru, who is another great team in this conference. But you look at the stats for Mariah. Ran the ball very well. Cameron Wright, 100 rushing yards on the day, and that 1 touchdown that you saw, that 37-yard run, looking really good for Mariah.
Oh, no, he looked fantastic. 15 rushes, like you said, 100 yards. That equates to about 50, that's 3-4 yards per carry. That's a good NFL average, and definitely in high school where they run the ball more. You got to love what you got out of Cameron Wright. Also, Cole Gayden, 8 for 14, 179 yards. Did have 1 pick, but they both played well. Unfortunately, they moved to 2 and 3. Beekmantown now 3 and 1.
That's 4-1.
4-1, excuse me. Sorry about that. 4-1 Beekmantown. I mean to discredit you there. We got to go to the next game, though. We've got Saranac at Peru. Peru's homecoming game. Let's check that one out. It's going to start right off with Tim Remeland, 2-yard run early, putting Peru up 7-0 early. I love the support there from each side. Good teamsmanship there. We love that at Sports Rep Live. Now let's take a look at Saranac. Gauzen scrambles. Deeks 1 defender. Tim Remeland is going to come. He does it on both sides of the field. Gets to him not before Gauzen gets rid of it, though. Peru now bad snap under the legs of Altizer. Gets it back at the 45. That could have been a big break for Saranac. Now let's go back to Peru again. Altizer. He's going to throw. We're going to freeze it right there. It's a great pass, good pocket presence. It looks like Remeland's got it, but look at Saranac, able to knock the ball out. A great play by the Saranac defense there. They came to play early. Same drive, Altizer hands it off again to Tim Remeland, and watch this hit. Boom! On the 43-yard line on Zach O'Neill. Gets 5 extra yards after the hit. Beautiful run in there by Tim Remeland. He did it all today. Altizer again, play action fake. He's gonna hit Noah Phillips in the flat in the comeback. He's gonna get all the way to the 23-yard line. Noah Phillips, great job there. Different drive, same results. Altizer hands to Remeland at the 27. Blockers in front of him. Tackle to beat out the 40. He could go all the way, but he won't. The quarterback, Gosselin, gets to him at the 9. A 64-yard run, though. Great play there before he's tripped up by Gosselin. Next play, Altizer, right back to Remeland. Freeze it! 1, 2, and 3. Check out the blocking by Peru as Remeland gets into the end zone for his 2nd run of the day. Great job of the Peru offensive line and Tim Remeland there. Saranac now with the ball again. It's Gauzen. Back to pass. Scrambles left. He throws. Intercepted. Great job there, though. Great concentration by Hunter Bruno on the tip. That was phenomenal. Ensuing Peru drive. It's Altizer, back to Remeland, and he's going to motor to the sideline, all the way to the 6-yard line before he's tripped up by Saranac again for 18 more. It was all Peru in this game, though, 51-0 in their homecoming lead, and you got to believe that Peru is loving every single minute of this.
Absolutely. You had the ugly game last week against Beekmantown in the rain, the slop. Love to get out there and run the ball the way they did. And then Altizer, a huge comeback game, 181 yards for him and 3 touchdowns.
6 for 10, 5 different receivers for Peru on this day. He completed 6 passes, 5 of them to different people. Think about that. And Tim Remeland, 16 rushes, 200 yards and 3 touchdowns of his own. And there was one more rushing by Rivellino Hendricks for Peru as well. He had a 79-yard run for a touchdown. You gotta believe that this Peru team, with Saranac Lake only 1 game behind, even though they did beat Peru already, is feeling really good in the CVAC.
Absolutely. They're on a 4-game win streak there. You're looking good on both sides of the ball. You mentioned Remillard, a huge game, 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. When you can get 6 touchdowns between your quarterback and your running back, you're doing a lot of things really well.
Remillard did it all. He caught. He defended. He sacked. He ran. He did it all. But it was still a group effort with Altizer, with Remeland, with a guy like Kendricks who had a touchdown too. Peru just stomped all over Saranac, the Saranac Chiefs on this one.
They absolutely did, and I got some stats for you right here. They're on a 4-game win streak, outscoring opponents 148-19.
Look out, Saranac. If you meet this team hot in the playoffs, I know Beekman Town's right there as well. They're 4-1. Saranac Lake's 5-0, and Peru is 4-1. But these are 3 teams, especially what we saw from Peru today. They could give Saranac Lake a run for their money.
Absolutely, and those 2 teams, Peru and Saranac Lake, they met on the first week of the season. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But not everything happened on the gridiron this week. And for more of that, we're going to send it right over to Caitlin DeLuca. Caitlin?
That's right, guys. It wasn't just the football weekend. There are lots of games going on, including volleyball, which saw Northern Adirondack and Northeastern Clinton go at it. The CVAC showdown saw NAC take out their rivals 3-1. Hannah Charlin led the way with 13 points and 8 assists for the Bobcats, who dropped the first game before winning the next 3. In addition, her teammate Zoe Varens served 10 points and slammed 7 kills in the win. But the Bobcats weren't done. Mackenzie Fountain had 9 points, 15 assists, and 5 digs, while Shawnee Villaquez chipped in 8 points and 6 kills. Carolina Pereira led Northeastern Clinton with 9 points and 6 digs, while teammate Stephanie LaValle contributed 6 kills and 15 digs. Next up, AuSable Valley handed Saranac Lake a lopsided loss, shutting out the Red Storm 3-0. Miranda O'Neill led the way for the Pates, serving up to 15 points, including 5 aces. Her teammate Lindsey Brown added 11 points, and that's not all. The Powerhouse Patriots did. Miranda Sheffer had 10 points and 8 digs, while Alexandra Lincoln came up with 12 digs of her own. Belle O'Toole chipped in 13 assists. Sam Martin led the way for the Saranac Lake with 5 points, and Kylie Sapone had 5 points and 3 assists. And wrapping up the local volleyball scene, Beekman Town handed a 3-0 shutout to Peru. Jordan Aless and Michaela Fretchett served 6 aces apiece, while Shannon Ryan recorded 10 kills and 3 blocks to lead the unbeaten Eagles over the Indians. Freshman Michaela LaFountain had a strong game with 18 assists, while Evelyn Valenci was credited with 6 points, and Emily Anderson contributed 7 kills to the Eagle cause. Brooke Wyan served 2 aces for the Indians. And speaking of Peru athletics, as the guys showed you earlier, the Indians football team is off to a great start. And coming up after the break, you'll meet one of the men in charge. Assistant coach Jeff Barnetchek joins us next. You're watching Sports Wrap Live.
TV presents Real Men of PSTV.
Real Men of PSTV.
We salute you, Mr. Teleprompter Operator.
Mr. Teleprompter Operator.
Not content to just sit there and turn that dial, you make sure everything is properly highlighted, spaced, and all caps.
Mr. Perfectionist.
Without you, nobody knows what to say.
I don't know my name.
So sit back, relax, and watch PSTV.
Mr. Teleprompter Operator.
Campus Channel 10, Charter 17.
What the French toast?
Yo, I can't get PSTV. Do you have PSTV?
No, I don't have it either.
No!
Guys, there's no PSTV. You guys got PSTV?
PSTV must be out again.
This portion of PSTV is brought to you by an underwriting grant from Heritage Printing, located at 94 Margaret Street and featuring printing and copying, we thank Heritage Printing for their continuing support of PSTV programming.
This portion of PSTV is brought to you by an underwriting grant from Coffee Cat. Located at 104 Margaret Street and featuring coffee and other associated items on the menu, we thank Coffee Cat for their continuing support of PSTV programming.
Today at PSTV, we go out into the community and try to make some friends. Let's take a look. Reporting live from the community, PSTV. Let us hold your hand.
And welcome back to Sports Wrap Live. As promised, assistant coach from Peru is here joining us. How are you, Coach?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So obviously you're a pretty young guy. What's it like when you go out there and you have to coach up these young 17, 18-year-old kids? What's it like as far as, the respect issue?
Well, they're great guys. I haven't really had any respect problems. When they do get a little out of line, you have to not be afraid to put them back in your place. If they get out of line, 10 push-ups, we'll call it even. They'll give you the respect as long as you respect them.
Absolutely.
And maybe just talk about a little bit about the older previous coaches and the influences they've had on you thus far.
We've got an awesome coaching staff. They all played for Peru High School at one time or another. A good portion of them played for the North Stars, the semi-pro team up here. Coach Way's been around the game for 30 years. Coach Damiani's been around for 15, 20 years. The other coach has been around just as long. It's really, I'm learning so much from these guys. I love it.
Excellent. Well, let's talk about the season so far. Obviously, you're off to a great start, 4-1. You had that one slip up early on in the season, your opening game against Saranac Lake, but everybody knows how good they are. Talk about last week in Saranac. What was your key to success for winning so good?
Adaptability. You saw Tim Remillard over 200 yards rushing. He's not even a running back. He's a tight end by trade. Our starting running back is hurt at the moment, so we moved Timmy back there and had a monster game.
Yeah, he looked like a natural back there.
Yeah.
That's Mackenzie LaRock, correct? Is your injured running back?
Yes.
And
he should be back this week versus Plattsburgh, though.
Okay, that's good news. Talk a little bit about the injuries. I know you said you have a few injuries across the offensive line and on the defensive side.
Yeah, our starting center, Alex Barrett, he dislocated his shoulder last week against Saranac. He's getting a second opinion now, but preliminary results are he's going to be out for the year. So we've had to shuffle it up on the offensive line. We've got some backups, some guys playing out of position. It's a work in progress, but we'll be ready for this Friday night.
Okay. You mentioned Friday night, Plattsburgh coming up. You got to go into Plattsburgh. That's never an easy thing to do.
No, it's not.
So what are your plans for that game? You have any specific game planning that you're doing?
Well, Plattsburgh, there's been a surprising team this year. Everyone's kind of considered them to be an all-star the last few years. I think they've only won one game each of the last 3 or 4 seasons, but they've come out and surprised. They're a tough, hard-running football team, and if you let them stay in the game, they will beat you. So you got to score on them fast, and you got to score on them early. If you set the tone, you can beat them, but if you let them stay in the game, they'll make you work for it every step of the way. Excellent
advice. And you're an offensive line coach, correct?
Yes, I am.
So what's it like getting down in the trenches with those guys?
I love it. If we're short a guy in a drill or something, I'll jump in and fill in, reliving memories of my glory days and having a grand old time.
You give it to those guys on the defensive side a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's great. What about, we know up here in the North Country, everything's not so close together. What about the bus rides? Is it tough to keep the focus of the kids on those long rides?
Far and away, the worst bus ride is Ticonderoga. It's like an hour and a half, going through these little windy, mountainous back roads trying to get there. Most guys take a nap. I fell asleep on the bus ride. But they're disciplined. They know what they have to do, so they're not goofing off. A lot of them are going over plays, looking at reminders, getting mentally focused.
All right, well, I'm sure that's due to good coaching, absolutely. So like we said, you got Plattsburgh coming up and then one more game, and then it's playoff time. What are you guys looking to do the next few games to get ready for the playoffs?
Win, win, win. Win and stay healthy.
Yeah, it's tough to do apparently this season.
Yeah.
Okay, well, right now we're going to take another break, but coming up we're going to preview some of next week's games. We got Peru and Plattsburgh. Keep it right here, Sports Wrap Live.
Switch.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
That would be long.
This portion of PSTV is brought to you by an underwriting grant from Heritage Printing, located at 94 Margaret Street and featuring printing and copying. We thank Heritage Printing for their continuing support of PSTV programming.
This portion of PSTV is brought to you by an underwriting grant from Coffee Cat. Located at 104 Margaret Street and featuring coffee and other associated items on the menu, we thank Coffee Cat for their continuing support of PSTV programming.
Popcorn? Maybe some candy and nachos? Want to watch a movie while doing so? Regal Cinemas can offer you that and so much more. With stadium seating and 8 theaters, Regal Cinemas is the place to be. Located at 60 Smithfield Boulevard, Suite 90 in Plattsburgh, Regal Cinemas also offers their Regal Crown Club Card, where you can earn free popcorn, soda, candy, and even free tickets. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll have a great time. Only at Regal Cinemas.
And welcome back to Sports Wrap Live. We'd like to thank Jeff Bednarczyk for joining us and giving that great interview, a little bit of insight into the goings-on behind the scenes. We mentioned Peru and Plattsburgh, and right now we're going to get into our picks for this coming week. Let's start with that one, Derek. Who you got?
We're going to start right with Peru and Plattsburgh.
Absolutely.
Peru and Plattsburgh. Oh, if you were asking me who I thought would have came away with it, nothing against Peru, but that game was phenomenal. I can't imagine anything more than what we got from Peru yesterday. Or Friday, excuse me, last Friday. Plattsburgh putting up a decent season, but it's got to be Peru. I mean, they won 51-0 yesterday on their home field. Home field, homecoming game. It's got to be Peru, Lee.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Plattsburgh, like the assistant coach said, they're going to put up a fight. They're a scrappy team. They like to get into it with you. They run the ball very well. But Peru is on a roll right now. We mentioned it earlier, 148-19. They're outscoring their opponents in these last 4 games.
4 straight wins, Lee.
Four straight wins
after that hiccup to Saranac Lake, which you can't even really call a hiccup because it's Saranac Lake.
Exactly, and that was, it wasn't a very close game, but they played very well. 27-7 was the score of that one, but I just like Peru's chances. They're playing so well right now. I like them to beat Plattsburgh.
It's all Peru. They're going to stay right there. They're going to stay right with Saranac Lake, right with Beekman Town. It's all Peru.
Okay, moving on to the next one. We're going to have Mariah going to AuSable Valley. Who you got in that one?
Mariah put up a good enough game against Beekman Town yesterday to lead me to believe, not yesterday, Friday. I don't know why I keep doing that. Against Beekman Town Friday to lead me to believe that they're going to take down AuSable Valley, especially the way AuSable Valley played the other day. Well, against Ticonderoga, was it?
Yep. Yeah, I thought they would come out, and I thought they were going to play a little bit better against Ticonderoga. I know they scored 20 points against Saranac Lake late in the game, but it's still 20 points. And then you come up and you just can't get anything going against Ticonderoga, a team that is not Saranac Lake, let's be honest. And I just don't see AuSable getting it done at home. I know you're going to have a little more emotion. You're going to be up for the game, but I like Mariah. I like where they're headed right now in the season, and I think they're going to pull it out.
We were talking about this a little earlier off camera, how AuSable Valley was able to put up 20 points last week against Saranac Lake. Dylan Savage had 2 big fourth-quarter runs last week. You saw it on the highlights on the show last week. And that led me to believe, hey, maybe AuSable Valley coming against Ticonderoga, a 1-3 team in Ticonderoga versus an 0-4 team in AuSable Valley. I figured, hey, maybe they can stick with this team. I did pick Ticonderoga last week. Glad I did. Mariah, that great defense, putting up 20. Remember, they had only scored 30 and 15 in their wins, and I believe 12 and 6 in their losses. So to get 20 against a good Beekman Town team leads me to believe that they're going to take down AuSable Valley.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Mariah had that tough one last week, a close loss to Beekman Town. They really gave them a run for their money, as good as Beekman Town is. That dropped them to 2-3 on the season. You got to believe that they're itching to get back to 500.
They're definitely itching to get back to 500. We had talked about it last week that Mariah clearly wanted to win this one against Beekman Town, but Beekman Town had the big homecoming game. They won by 9. I don't want to say it was a convincing game because it was so close, but Beekman Town outplayed Mariah.
They
but
did.
Mariah was still right in there, and that shows you that defense can keep you in games.
Yeah, and like we said, Beekman Town got off to a good start, 14-0 at half. They were up 21-6 at one point, but you gotta love the fight in Mariah. Coming back from 21-6 down, end up only losing by 9. I know that I know that's not the best margin to lose by, but you got to believe in their ability to keep playing even when they're down that big.
You've got to tip your hat to Beekmantown and tip your hat to Mariah as well. Mariah's definitely tipping their hat to Beekmantown for a great game played, but no, Mariah stayed right in it. The Vikings were in it until the end. Even though it is 9, it was 2 scores. Mariah played their little hearts out, and they're going to keep going, and they are 2-3, and I think they're going to take down, was it Ausable Valley we said?
Yep.
Next week, and they're going to get back to 3-3. Absolutely.
I'm right there with you. Let's move on. The big game this weekend, Beekmantown visiting Saranac Lake. Who you got, Derek?
I know so many Beekmantowners. I hate to offend them. I think it's going to be the game of the ages of this CVAC season. Beekmantown coming off a big win against Mariah. They've got momentum going into it, but Saranac Lake also does too. It's 5-0 versus 4-1. And we've got a quandary here.
Absolutely, we do.
Hold on a second, folks. If Beekmantown wins this game, they go to 5-1. Saranac Lake is 5-1. And let's say Peru wins next week. They're 5-1. What happens? Beekmantown beat Saranac Lake beat Peru beat Beekmantown. The whole CVAC is going to be upside itself.
It's going to be a big mess if that happens. One last pick, Ticonderoga going to Saranac. Who you got?
Saranac got that big win. I still think, and Saranac was blown out against Peru. That's going to be a toss-up. Flip a coin. Saranac.
Saranac, I'm going to go the other way. I like Ticonderoga's momentum coming from last week. I think they're going to pull it off. Right now, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Keep it right here. Don't touch that dial.
Don't do it.
This portion of PSTV is brought to you by an underwriting grant from Cumberland 12. Located at 18 North Bowl Lane off of State Route 9 and featuring a large selection of the latest mainstream and independent film, and also offering the only Real D 3D experience in northern New York. We thank Cumberland 12 for their continuing support of PSTV programming.
Thanks for hanging with us here on Sports Wrap Live. Unfortunately, we're just about out of time, but we would like to say if you got any questions, comments, concerns, corrections for us, send it to our email. It's on the screen, sportswraplivepstv@gmail.com. Got anything else, Derek?
I'm going to get one about the pink. I know it. It's breast cancer awareness. Someone's going to call me out on that, but remember, we're doing it for the breast cancer awareness, so don't hate on me.
I'm not hating on you. I love the pink. I think it looks great. That's all the time we have tonight, though. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
I'm
Enjoy
Derek
your
Palaki,
Columbus
not
Day.
Caitlin DeLuca like the graphic said. She was with us, too. Good night, folks.